Welcome to another podcast in which we'll be talking about James Mahu's essay, The Power of Beliefs. Sophia and Phil greet you from the microphone.
Hello to everyone.
You know what blows my mind? The ancient wisdom about human consciousness might actually be more advanced than our modern scientific understanding. Our ancestors 200,000 years ago somehow grasped concepts about consciousness that we're just now rediscovering.
That's fascinating, Sophia. How did they understand something so complex without all our modern tools and research?
Well, Phil, here's what's really interesting. They didn't need complex tools because they experienced it directly. They understood intuitively that we're part of something much bigger than our individual selves.
So you're saying we might have actually lost touch with something our ancestors knew instinctively?
Exactly. And here's where it gets really mind-bending. This essay suggests we exist in multiple levels of reality simultaneously. We have our day-to-day free will in what it calls our local universe, but we're also part of this vast, interconnected web of consciousness.
That sounds pretty abstract. How does this actually play out in real life?
Think about it like this. When you're making a decision, you feel completely free to choose, right? But at the same time, you might sense this deeper current guiding you. It's like being both the surfer and part of the wave.
That reminds me of how quantum physicists describe particles existing in multiple states simultaneously until they're observed.
Exactly. And here's what's fascinating. This isn't just some philosophical idea. It suggests that our beliefs actually shape our reality, but not in the superficial way some people think about manifestation.
So what's the difference between this and the usual think positive thoughts approach?
Well, it's much deeper than that. The essay suggests that instead of waiting for proof before believing something, we might need to believe first to actually perceive the deeper reality that's always there. It's like tuning into a frequency that's always broadcasting.
That's quite a shift from our usual scientific approach of requiring evidence first.
Right? And here's what I find really powerful. Our ancestors didn't need scientific proof to understand these deep truths about consciousness and connection. They just knew it, lived it, breathed it.
But how do we know they actually understood these concepts rather than just having simpler beliefs?
The evidence is in their cultural practices, their art, their spiritual traditions, all pointing to this understanding of interconnectedness. And get this, these same ideas keep showing up across different cultures and time periods, suggesting there's something fundamental about them.
So what happened? Why did we lose touch with this understanding?
The essay suggests that our modern world, with all its technology and distractions, has created so much noise that these deeper signals have become harder to hear. It's like we're all wearing headphones playing loud music, unable to hear the subtle sounds of nature around us.
That's a powerful metaphor. But what do we do with this information now?
Here's what's really beautiful. It suggests starting with the simplest possible assumption, that we are souls expressing ourselves through human behavior, connected to a universal intelligence that links all existence. No complicated philosophy needed.
But wouldn't most people struggle to accept such a big idea without some kind of proof?
And that's where we come to the most interesting part. What do we actually lose by believing in this highest possible vision of ourselves? Even if we're wrong, choosing to believe we're part of something larger than ourselves tends to lead to more compassionate, conscious living.
Yes, exactly. Now it's up to the listeners to study the essay for themselves. It will certainly help them to understand the concept of the power of beliefs in a deeper way. You can find the link in the text below the video.
Goodbye from the mic, Sophia.
Goodbye, Phil.